My job is to make sure that I keep you informed about what's happening in the real estate market. And sometimes the trends that are going on, you can't always see in the data. There is kind of an as is selling trend right now happening. And it's in some ways the buyers who are offering it, which is contradictory, right? You would think that a buyer would want to have as many repairs completed as possible before they purchase a home. But here's the trick. Buyers are getting such fantastic deals right now that they are willing to say, we're not going to object over inspection items because we're getting thousands, tens of thousands, 25,000 more off of the purchase price to help us either bite on the interest rate in seller concessions or just pay less for the property. So I want to share with you about the pros and cons of this kind of new trend and how it's affecting both buyers and sellers that I'm working with right now. And I've had this happen 5 times this year already, which is why I think it's an interesting topic to get into. I want to show you average close to list price ratios. So remember in 2020 and 2021 when interest rates were incredibly low? Well, average close to list price was really, really high, way above that 100% mark, right? And people were competing for properties. And so it was actually very common for people to limit their inspection items at that point and just say, we're not going to make you fix all kinds of things in your house. We'll take your house as is. And by the way, we'll also give you more money for it because we want to secure the home that we love at this really low interest rate. Well, the reverse is kind of happening right now. If you notice, we're at closer to 98%, 99% of close to list price ratio right now. So imagine as a seller, you have listed your property. You potentially have had to do a price drop at this point because the market is definitely pulling back. And when I say a price drop, I mean anywhere from 3 to 5%. That's about average. And very often, even after the price drop, a buyer might come in and say, we want your property, but we want to pay you even less than what you're at for your price drop, which I literally just had happen this week. And I have it on 2 other listings, two buyer sides and 2 other listings. So this is a thing. Why would a buyer then want to limit their inspection? Well, let's pretend like you just got $25,000, $50,000 off of that already discounted purchase price. That's a lot of money. And so a buyer might say, well, that's fine. I don't really need to have you fix all of these tiny things. Now, just so you know, the buyers are still protected because as your buyer's agent, I will make sure that we can terminate the contract and you get your earnest money back if there's some major things wrong with the property or there's just too many little things that you are adding up and you don't want to deal with. As a seller, the best thing you can do is do as much work on the property in advance to make sure that people are comfortable because a buyer is really looking for a turnkey home. And if yours is not turnkey right now, that's okay. I can either help you do some updates. I have a really great contractor and a video that talks all about how to transform a house into a more modern and buyer friendly, something that buyers would be very interested in home. But that can cost money and take time. And so it might be reasonable to price your home to sell as is or expect that it will. Now, I did have one client recently, and these sellers, I'll just show you. And this is very normal, actually. This seller has 100 inspection items. And I'm just going to tell you that this summary is really well done. And there's like some things that, okay, the house isn't perfect. It's kind of older, but the seller has taken care of lots and lots of things. And the inspection objection we got was not as is. We got a bulleted list of about 10 items. And the good news is I have a ton of contractors that are available, and I basically have already taken care of or have in motion all of the inspection items the buyer had requested, mostly for this specific property. So buyers have to kind of be aware that when they get an inspection report, it's probably going to have a lot of things on it, unless it's brand new, in which case they're under warranty, but they're not always perfect either. Builders have these little stickers that you walk around and you put all over the house where there are mistakes and errors that the builder has to fix. So as a buyer, it's important to go into making an offer, kind of being aware what's already wrong with the property. And maybe it's okay with you to limit some of those items. I would love to chat with you about how the inspection process works and also how to get a really great deal in this market. And if you're a seller, that's been my specialty for the last, I don't know, year. I have worked with mostly listings, which gives me an advantage to see what is really happening and what I can do to help you get your home ready over the course of the next year, maybe, or even if it's just in the next few weeks. We can talk about how to position yourself as a seller so we can net you the most amount of money, because that's really important in this market. Homes are not flying off the shelf like they used to. Give me a call, send me a text message. I'm Heather O'Leary, Colorado homegirl with eXp Realty. I'd love to chat with you.